Do you like auctions? Do you want to get some coins at auction? Well, you need to know about GreatCollections. I have purchased there many times, and 90% of the time I have not overpaid. I've gotten really good deals, and I've gotten better at getting good deals. And that's what I want to share with you today. Because as a beginning coin collector, we all have limited budgets, and this is a good place to not only learn what coins look like because they have fantastic photographs of these coins, but also what you can expect to pay for the coins you really want in your collection. So come with me over to GreatCollections and I'm going to show you the ropes and maybe give you a few tips so that you can join in the fun and get some fun coins to add to your collection. So here we are on GreatCollections. They've been doing this for 15 years. They're celebrating their birthday, apparently. It's at the top of the screen. You may or may not be able to see that. But what I want you to see is way off to the right over here. It says Auction Archive. This is a great resource that we will be diving into after I show you the auction so that you can maybe save some money when you go to do your own or go to make purchases on your own auctions. This is Sunday when I'm recording this. Sunday, these close, the auctions close. So that's kind of Monday morning. You can go in here and pick out things you want to watch and then be ready on Sunday afternoon to nab them. Now, I like it over here because I can decide how much I want my auctions to go to a max of. I mean, there's thousands of dollars in coins. Like the asking price can be thousands of dollars. So I'm going just to my little one over here, 1 to 250. So I'm going to click on that. It's going to bring up this page. Now, right now, they have listed over 10,000 auctions. Well, I'm never going to be able to look at all those, ever. So I narrow down my results. I leave the year range unless I'm looking for something specifically just wanted a specific year. I just leave that where it is. Grade range, that's entirely up to you. If you leave it ungraded details, you're going to find sometimes lots of coins that you can bid on. For purposes of what we're doing right now, I think I'm going to take that off and I'm going to go and make sure only the coins that are MS or PF proof, 65 or above are shown to us. You can also choose the grading companies. I'm going to keep it with all. There's all kinds of folks that may want just NGC holders, and they could click here. Point is, you can narrow it. Our price range is currently up to $250. I'm going to change that. I'm going to put in $50. I don't want to pay more than $50, or bids only up to $50 will be shown. I could put in a keyword. Let's say I want Indian head cents. I could type that in, or Jefferson nickels. I could also do that by denomination. Right now, it has all of them. I mean, including gold coins are there. I'm just going to leave it with all denominations. It'll pretty much filter itself out. Just by doing that, we're narrowing things down. We're also, it's May 17th. I'm going to go ahead and uncheck these other auctions because what I want to buy something right now. So, or I want to bid on something, not necessarily buy something. And I only want auctions. I could do buy it nows. They have those, so you could just go into it. Tends to be the modern silver, and I don't have time for that. I want to go into the auctions. So I click auctions and a bid count. This means that if there's 500 people bidding on these, I don't want that many. I'm going to put it down to 2. So I've already narrowed down a lot of things, and then I'm going to click go. And once it filters that, we're down to 129 active listings right now. That's 3 pages worth. But as you can see, I can roll over a lot of these and it'll pop up the coin so I can glance at the coin, which is really nice. They have great pictures. They call it great photo. I can also narrow my auction by the bid. So these don't even have bids on them. They're asking $29. And that's the other thing. Sometimes it will start at $1. Sometimes the person or the company that is selling this they have a reserve essentially. And like the starting bid, they'll put it at $20 for this one. But you always have a buyer's fee. So you're going to add $5 to whatever Say you win it at $20, you're actually going to pay $25. But within this auction, I can see that this is a 1959 MS66. I can click on the photographs. I can then see them in the holder. If I wanted to, I could see that this is an NGC holder. I could go to NGC, put in this number to verify that that is in fact that coin, and it would generally give me a potential value for that, so I wouldn't overpay, which that's where the budget hunter in me is really excited, because then I can find deals ahead of time and be ready to bid on. This is a really pretty coin. If you didn't have a 1959 and you wanted it in your collection, this might be worth picking up. So I'm going to save it. It's now going into my watch list. That will keep the timer. It'll be one way I can look at more than one auction at a time as they wind down. Now let's click backwards. There we go. The other thing to bear in mind is, because I have narrowed it, I'm only seeing MS65 to 70. There are more coins in the auctions active right now, but I only wanted to see ones with less than 2 bids and those other parameters. Here's a 1946D. They're asking $30. As I'm rolling through here, I'm seeing the various prices. If I wanted to see the cheapest price, I could go up to the top, click on price. It may give me the most expensive one first. Yeah, it did. It gave me a 50. I'm going to click it again. That'll bring me back down. So currently, see, now this is interesting. I didn't ask for it to give me anything other than coins, or I didn't think so. But these are, well, I'll show you. Bank of Thailand notes. Huh. That is very interesting that popped into there. I wouldn't have anticipated that. I don't know why they're there. Maybe they didn't know where else to put them. But you could pick one of those up right cheap right now. A 1980 Susan B. Anthony in MS66 is currently at 10 with 1 bid. So you can filter by price, by title, by image. I guess not by image, but by the number of bidding folks. When it's ending, you can also put them on your watch list, and that's how you can keep track of them. But currently, we are getting down to when these are going to end in like 24 seconds. If I wanted this 66 Roosevelt, I have 16 seconds. I could place a bid and get it. Nice coin. Looks like full. Yeah, it's part of a special mint set. Now it's going to wind down, and it'll just be in the unsold for this auction cycle, unless somebody snipes on that. But again, you can go through here, and this is what I'll do next to show you one more thing. Let's go to view all, and just to let you know, well, I'm going back to the 1 to 250. Let's uncheck today's auction. So then this opens up May 24th beyond and forward. I don't know. Oh my gosh, they've even got one for February of next year. That's interesting. But now you have a bunch of auctions, and we're still up to $250. We're still doing all of the grades, but we're now opening it up to auctions other than what's closing today. So I'll click go, and that's giving me over 8,000 hits. Now, if I wanted to just see what's going to be up next week, which is usually what I do, and then I uncheck these, so that what the goal is there a coin or coins that I want to bid on for next week's auction? And so I would be coming back on Sunday to see those. Midweek I'll know, but I usually wait until Sunday to decide, has it gone past where I want to bid? But it gives me a full week to pick out a coin or coins that I want to learn more about. For example, a 1796 Liberty cap cent. I know nothing about it. It's in good condition, a good 4. I can take a look at it. Let's say, okay, let's say I wanted to bid on. I don't, but let's say I did. I could take this information and I could go to PCGS, look up the value, and see if this 116 is like the highest value they've got. That wouldn't be a good deal to pick it up here on the auction site. So I wouldn't even worry about it. But by contrast, let's narrow it down further. Let's go to a different denomination that I am familiar with. Now, let's see, view all, not all the denominations. Let's go to small cents. No, let's do it even more Let's go to $half. And that narrows it down further. Go. And once we go to $half, then I could be looking at fewer numbers, but like a Walking Liberty half. This one, Unk Details. So it isn't graded per se because it just is a detail. Well, it's a details grade. But let's say this one, I kind of like this one. I could take a look at it, make sure the 1945 D Walking Liberty $half is something that I want to keep track of. I could then put watch this item and save it. I could make a bid, and let's just go ahead and do that. Let's say I'm going to make a $15 bid. I'm going to click. It's already being watched by 12. It's had 77 views, and this is for next week. But I'm going to go ahead and place the bid. It shows me that it's going to add $7 to my bid. So, well, actually it's doing $5, so the buyer's premium. So my bid is essentially $20. I expect to be outbid and learn about that later. But you would just click confirm bid, and I already have been. Someone has bid higher. There's 4 bids. We can click on that. I am Tartellini, so I'm the second one down here. Someone else is higher. That doesn't mean I couldn't continue to bid it up to find out where I am in the pecking order, but this is one way to start collecting your coins and having them kind of in a queue as to whether you want to bid on them. It's also another way to be gathering coins, to be looking them up, and know that when you're looking them up, you're talking about the condition, the MS66, for example, the year, and when I go to PCGS and I'm looking at values, I'm looking at the MS66. I go down, and if it says, let's say for this coin, $30 is the max I should value the coin. If I come back to this and I haven't bid on it, it's just in my watch list and it's already at 35, I would already be overpaying. And I don't want to do that anymore because I have in the past. And so watching items and saving them is a really good way to then come back and look at your coins against the values. You could have something simple like a little sticky note thing, or a longer list depending on how many coins you're looking at. And then you would not be overpaying. That is really the key to the auction success, I think. It depends what your budget is. And for me, I went all in with Kennedy $half because I knew enough about where silver was sitting. I got some really good deals early on. Not lately because of the way silver prices have gone, but that doesn't mean you can't. So GreatCollections. I think it's a place where you can get some wonderful coins of all kinds of historical coins, as well as ones that are common to you that you just want to put into your collection, but they're already slabbed, they're ready to go. And you can then go in, this is the last part of what I want to show you. They have an auction archive. So let's say here or another website, you're thinking about buying a coin, and let's say you want to buy a 2005D State Quarter Minnesota Satin Finish Extra Tree, and they've sold 10 of them. So I could click on that in here. I could see this one sold for $163 in 2018. Now, what's good about that information, because it's pretty old, it gives you an idea that if you get it for less than that, you're doing well. It also shows you the satin finish. Some people don't know what the satin finish looks like. This is an easy way to tell because you're getting good pictures on here. The auction archive itself is for US coins. It's for world coins. It's also currency. Sometimes they won't have anything. You'll click on something and it won't come up. But it is a really good way to check on different denominations, different years, see if you are overpaying on eBay. Check things like a 1970 S Lincoln cent, a large date proof in red. 108 auctions have sold. This was a fairly recent one, it looks like, 2023. One sold for $343. So if you had one and you wanted to get it graded, go to PCGS, see what the value is. Also look at the population report. Think about it. You're going to be paying to get them graded, but if you could pick one up for under that, you'd be probably doing okay. The other thing is, if you wanted to watch and see if some of those auctions came up, down in the lower right in this archive, you can set up searches and they will let you know when one comes up. So that was a lot of information, and I didn't even scrape the surface on some things. I think that you could come here and spend all day. I have come close, but the one thing that when you are looking at all the auctions to be aware of is your budget. That's the best way to save yourself. The watch list will then show you, okay, you've saved this 1960 proof. Do you really need it? And for $15, be actually $20, it's already encapsulated. That would probably be a good deal. It also kind of puts into perspective whether, like, this guy, I don't know what is so special about this particular one. I don't know if it has been bid up to this, or whether this, because that's with the buyer's fee, this will be $9,900. Maybe we should watch this and see if it goes. Because if it does, wow, that's a wow. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say to that one. I think I clicked on it. No, it has no bids. Someone put it up for that much. But if someone at the last minute bought it, I don't know if that'd be a good deal or not. It wouldn't be my deal. That's the other thing. When you're doing this, you want to make sure you are not clicking on a bid for $8,800. That no, yeah, you got to be careful. So here's my little watch list. I don't see anything that I will probably buy, but actually I might buy this one just to show you what it looks like when you do buy it. I'm going to quickly try and talk to you while I look up on another. I'm looking at the price guide, and I apologize that you can't see this one too, but I'm going to the Washington quarters on PCGS. Now, this is a proof 65. It makes a difference whether it's MS or a proof. I had to kind of learn the hard way that proofs are different. A proof 60, and it's a 69. They're saying it's $165. That's a 65 though. So we'll go back and I'll look. 65 should pay no more than $20. So they have it set at 15. Whoever buys it will pay an additional $5. So you'll pay essentially the max of what the value is for this coin if you were to purchase it. So I'm not gonna bid on that one. It would be nice if I wanted it in my collection, because it had 4 bidders. Someone got it, and basically they aren't going to have they're going to have the coin, but they aren't going to have it encapsulated, so they're not going to have to pay that. So I guess in that sense, it's a good deal. This is GreatCollections. You can use it to look up your coins, find values, see what they've sold for. It's a valuable resource when you're looking on eBay, or you're just wanting to know how much you might be able to get for your own coins. It's also a fun place to buy coins. It's drool worthy when you're looking at the pictures, and you've got 6 days to research whether a 1968S Lincoln cent proof in 67 deep cameo is worth X number of dollars, so that you can bid only up to that and not overpay. So I hope that my babbling on with this has been helpful to you. My name is Andrea. This is Dig for the Pony. Like and subscribe if you're so inclined. I appreciate you coming by, and I hope to see you again.